This is Paul. I'm just looking at this responsibility being answerable for an obligation. Yes. Then there are those reserve funds. Oh, the reserve funds. Now, as a father of 5 sons, I feel a certain amount of responsibility for the obligation, the rights and obligations that I entered into when I got married. Yes. Each of the sons that I've had, I have felt a parental obligation to make sure they're protected. Now, you have said, well, he has no rights, and it doesn't matter that he wasn't given any notice or opportunity to be heard. But I've always thought of myself as a very wealthy person, and when it involves volunteering and preconception agreements and babies, you'd be surprised as a father how much I care about those that want to be involved in my family. Now, this responsibility for the safety of each and every individual is known as money and mean. Pooch. The reason why you scar a cheek when they're watching the tits bounce up and down, yes, is if a fish loses one drop of blood, pooch, they vampire. Ow. See, they seem real nice. Isn't that right, dog? They walk around as a fish twin of a sheriff or a police chief, and in their minds, they're going to teach me a lesson as a citizen of the United States. But I think it's my responsibility to provide for my sons and quite possibly Marilyn and her kids, considering I'm the one that wants to sue. Now, this approximate, well, I think it is actually $4 billion. If I was to die any time in the next 20 years, they get to keep all the money that was not used to pay their $200,000 a year salary. They only work when certain women want to travel to and from the office, and the bouncing tits is what catches the gaze of those that just cannot help themselves but notice, my goodness, that is a loose-fitting t-shirt. But you'd be surprised how far back money mean. Now, there's a reason why I cause a scar so that blood is lost in those that thought the dogs were going to rule the world. Now, do you have a responsibility to protect the parenting rights of each and every child before issuing court orders? Did you think you were going to mean yourself today? Pooh. There's nothing more frightening than a dogfish that has a lizard in their ass and they thought they just mean themselves. But if they lose one drop of blood, they vampire. Evil. So did you want to do what your responsibility is in protecting the parental rights of every citizen so I can do what my responsibility is to provide for my obligation as a father and the future father of those that want to be adopted and receive my last name? Because as soon as I get my rights enforced in this nation, I'm going to be money and mean, and I will protect each and every individual that wants to volunteer.